What's up, guys? It's Fish Freak 18 here. Look what Rodney and I just got done making. Our latest creation. Sharper Image City Bug, or what was a City Bug. Now powered by a 61cc McCulloch Pro Mac chainsaw motor. So give you a little detailed overview of it. You guys probably saw in our previous videos, this scooter was powered by a 25cc Toro Weed Eater engine. Well, that is long gone. Got rid of that. It just had no torque. Even with a jack shaft, it probably wouldn't have gone 15 miles an hour max, so we were not satisfied with that. But anyway, here it is. We just got it built today, probably about 4 hours max. Just pretty impressive for how sturdy it is. Got about 20 miles an hour out of it. We rode it today, 20 miles an hour on the flat. Our conclusion was this sprocket right here on the motor needs to be way smaller. Thinking like 10 tooth, 1 inch, which I already ordered. It's like a 2.5 inch now, so the gear ratio is way off. It has no torque, but once you get going, it's pretty quick, but the clutch still overheats really bad. So just a little overview about it. Mounting this motor was actually pretty simple. What we've done, took a piece of 2x8, cut off into the size that you see here. We have metal pipe, which I welded onto the scooter frame itself, and the weld was really crappy. So what Rodney did, this was actually his idea, we had a quick release laying around, which is like from a GoPed Sport, something like that, which is down here. You can't really see it, but we'll do another video later on. But anyway, he drilled through the side of the scooter frame, and then he drilled through the pipe, and we have the quick release going through that, and we just tightened it down. That held it down really sturdy, and it's really, really tight on there. The next thing we did, we took the 2x8, we drilled through that to the same size as the pipe, so it fits right around the pipe right here. We slid that down. We had angle iron laying around from, I don't know, just past projects that we used to build and stuff. Cut that up with the angle grinder to the perfect size. Bolted it to each nut on the side of this wheel right here. There's already holes punched in this angle iron. Once that was done, we bolted the angle iron to the 2x8, and that gave us a really stable platform, so it's like perfectly flat right here. Next, mounting the motor. Walk in front of the camera real quick. For this part, this was actually pretty simple. Most chainsaws have a bunch of pegs and stuff sticking out on them, on the chainsaw body. So what you can do is you can use everything to your advantage that's already on this thing. There's 2 pegs from where the bar used to stick out that the chain was on for when it was a chainsaw. Anyway, we took one of the pegs and we had some more of that angle iron laying around. I cut it with the grinder so that it would bend right here. Bolted that down onto the wood. Put a couple lock washers right here back on that peg, and then took them 2 nuts, threaded them onto the angle iron, and that sat really, really tight on there. Had a really good fit. This other side you can't really see, but there's a...
We can spin it around.
Yeah, we can spin it around, actually. Hold on a second. This other side, we've got the same procedure, basically. It's more angle iron. I just cut that to fit with the angle grinder. There's a screw right here. There's a peg that was used for the clutch assembly for when it was a chainsaw for the safety clutch. I found that the angle iron fit really tight inside of that, and it bolted right onto it, so we just bolted that to the front. And now the rear. This chainsaw is made out of some kind of cheap metal. I don't know if it's aluminum or steel. I would guess, if I had to guess, it's cheap aluminum or something like that. Rodney did all this part. He drilled through the chainsaw body, so we had a hole going. Then what he did was he took what do we have, like 1/4 inch screws or whatever?
3/8, yeah.
3/8, something like that. Drilled those through the chainsaw body and then through the wood, and then come out on the bottom, and it was a really snug fit, and that's pretty much how it's mounted. The next thing we did for the chain, it's just a regular bicycle chain we have laying around from an old BMX bike, and I'll let Rodney explain how he got that to fit, because it was not that size.
Whoops. Here we go.
because it was not that size. When we put it on there, it's way too big. So I'll let him explain real quick how he got that to fit.
Basically,
Perfect size.
just took a bike chain and hammered at it with a flathead screwdriver until it could break the chain apart. Then we mounted the chainsaw on without all the mounts, just lined it up. Once we lined it up, we got the right length. Then I cut the rest off and then made my own little way to rig it together, and it all spins fine, no problems at all.
And last thing with the chain assembly I forgot to mention, this scooter was actually belt driven when we had it, and we didn't want to use a belt because the belt slips too much and it's just a pain, they break. So what I did, this thing had drum brakes on it, but we took them off. Where the drum is, you can thread that off, and we took a bicycle sprocket and we found that it went really tight on there, and then we just threaded the drum back on, and the sprocket on the wheel fits perfectly aligned in there, and it stays. And the only thing I wish it did have was like a one-way bearing like a bicycle tire does, but you really don't see the difference. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, that's basically about it for now. We haven't done much. The only things that really need to be done with this project,
Throttle.
yeah, we need to get the throttle and the brake hooked up, and I'm gonna probably fabricate something up with our welder. Oh yeah, by the way, our welder's homemade too. We'll do another video on that another day, how we made that. But fabricate something up, put it across here, put a seat on here, get the throttle and brake hook up, and we'll be ready to go after that. So we'll see you guys later in our next video.